New entrepreneur, if he wants to get into export and import, he should get into.
India's agricultural exports have seen unprecedented expansion, with many products making their way to international markets for the very first time.
What should be the information that you would like to convey to him if he's entering into this market?
Nobody should enter into minimum support price is designed for the farmer or the consumer.
Until what point of the supply chain do you need an involvement?
Supply chain should include the farmers. There is no incentive for the farmer to work. The entire Indian agriculture system is robbed of quality. The idea of getting into import and export business, one needs to avoid this. The biggest threat is the climate change. Get into import-export business, two critical things that are needed. One is, of course,
but why would you suggest that? Rejection rates
is the biggest threat in import-export business. So there is no point in regretting after rejection. What is the biggest problem this country has?
FPOs are doing it already. This will happen only with the commercial crops.
The exporter and importer must have knowledge of these things.
Hi, my name is Payas Joshi, and in this podcast we had an interaction with Raghu Varma, who has more than 3 decades of experience in agribusiness and agriculture. He has worked across many countries like Vietnam, Kenya, and beyond. Raghu Varma has led major roles in agribusiness, from managing a 10 acres wheat farm in Kenya to directing operations in agri exports, aqua feed, and seed packaging for global companies like Syngenta and Nagarjuna Fertilizers. Currently, he has ventured into Agneya Private Limited, where he is involved into exporting of wheat, rice, onions, and more. In this podcast, we discussed and touched upon a lot of topics like MSP, agribusiness, import and export side of the business, government intervention, FPOs, and more. Hope you like the conversation. Do watch till the end and let us know in the comment section what you feel about it. Thank you. So the question that we are starting with is, how did you get into this of import and export, and how do you look forward to it?
Yes. So before starting off, just for the sake of the audience, let me introduce myself and the company. But my name is Raghu Varma, and I have been in agri-business for a long time. So agri-business, though I have studied agriculture, I have always believed that there is more money to be made in agri-business rather than agriculture, number one. And number two, by having a role in agribusiness, I thought we can help the farmers make more money. Right. So that is the prime reason why I have not opted for agriculture, which is actually doing the farming, a demo farm or a large-scale farming. But be in agribusiness, that is buying the commodity, buying the produce of the farmers and getting a better price for them. That has been the motto. Maybe I could not do these things because I was always employed. Right. And but whatever was possible, I was trying to do to the farmers. I think I have been fortunate to have worked in many geographies, that is Southeast Asia, Africa, and India. Right. And I have worked in several agri-businesses, that is sugar, seed, right, farming, and now commodity trading. Right. So in the last 30 years of my career, I have touched all these three things. Using the experience now, I would like to do more. in this business. But your question was why import export? See, any business is about generating orders, executing the orders, and then collecting the money. So when you are in a domestic business, you are serving many clients because your order size is usually small. And so it becomes a very tedious job. You sell it to several hundreds of customers and then do the follow-up on collection. Yeah. And I wanted to avoid that. Yeah. So only reason why I am into import and export is I can execute large orders to a corporate customer. My experience of dealing with individual customers in many of the countries that I worked has taught me many lessons. That is that they are not disciplined. It's a third world phenomenon. They place the order, they collect the goods, but they don't have money to pay. And the legal system doesn't support the supplier.
In India?
In any of these countries.
Okay.
Because agri-business is mostly rural. So that is where we welcome corporates. Some kind of discipline will come. And so when I am into imports and exports, like I said, my target is large order to a corporate client. Okay. So I am able to achieve both my goals. And the third important thing is to have a succession plan. Right. Whether my successor means whether my children or my business partners can continue this business so that we continue to serve the client. Right. So that is the reason why I have chosen imports and export.
So you're saying from the point of view of sustenance of the business as well?
And security of the finances. Right. And for the last 30 years, we have been waiting for the farm reforms. I have graduated in 86. I have done my post-graduation in 88. Then I was doing my doctorate, which I have discontinued and started my career with Nagarjuna Fertilizers, a fertilizer company.
Right.
I always wanted to be on the commercial side of the business, For most agriculture graduates, they do not get a commercial role. Right. They get a marketing role or they get a service role. So it took me 15-20 years to just gain that position where I am actually handling the commercials.
But how do you differentiate between
the senior management? One thing is you should be in a senior manager where you should conceive the business and execute. Meaning I should be responsible for profit and loss of the company.
Right.
In smaller roles, a sales executive, I was not comfortable because I think since my time of graduation, I'm used to taking decisions. It may be a weakness or strength, I don't know. But I like to take the call and I like to be responsible for the call. I feel the most important thing in life is the ability to take a decision based on information and stick to it. And also train your staff, our team, our partners to work in that direction. So this took me more than 20 years, and fortunately from 2010 or so, I'm working only in such positions.
Understood. But while mentioning and starting, you mentioned you chose agriculture, you chose agribusiness over agriculture.
Right.
So how would you differentiate between the people who are into agriculture now and who are into agribusiness? So how would you like to define this both as a different disciplines?
Discipline, yeah. See, basically agriculture, meaning farming. Farming is the toughest job to do.
Yeah.
Somebody said, you need to be a scientist, you need to be a laborer, you need to be a marketing executive, right? And you need to be an astrologer to predict the weather. So when you combine all these skills, you become a good farmer. Right? And when a farmer has all these skill sets, he is dependent on the government for fixing the price. That has been the problem in this country. The so-called MSP. For all other commodities or items in this country, there is MRP, maximum retail price. For a farmer, it is minimum support price. What is it? It is designed to keep the farmer poor. Right? When you say minimum support price, as a nation, you want to pay the minimum price to the farmer, whereas you should try to pay maximum to the farmer because he is feeding the nation, right?
Right. But then, when you're talking about this minimum support price, this is from the point of view, it is designed from a point of view that it is very unpredictable, the demand, and the supply is also very unpredictable because of the weather. And looking at the conditions of this to demand and supply, if this falls short or something mishappens in this particular domain, then it affects the farmers.
No, I will tell you, the minimum support price is designed for the farmer or the consumer.
As per my information, it is designed for farmer.
It is a public knowledge that it is designed for the consumers. Yes. Government wants to ensure that the citizens of this country gets the basic food at a minimum price, right?
But it was not out of that intention that it was launched, right? The minimum support price was officially launched with that perspective of
you see, both are linked. When you want to keep the prices low, you have to keep your procurement prices low. And how do you keep your procurement prices? Is by subsidizing some of the inputs. So the problem in this country is government gets into everything. How much is a farmer making? How much is a businessman making? You should leave it to the market forces. So here what happens when the cost of production of paddy or sugarcane is X, government will say, okay, I'll give you free power or I'll give you subsidized urea. But you give me your goods at a MSP, minimum support price. When you leave this to the market forces is when the farmer will get a better price.
But when you leave it to the market forces, then when the farmer ecosystem is not that established and the market forces might not be as good as it should be. So in the bad conditions of the market forces, it leads to a lot of loss to a farmer. So wasn't that also the perspective that when the market forces or international...
No, it is true. So what you should do is, it is not that every food item should be regulated. Like now government used to control paddy, wheat, sugarcane. They should have stopped there. Then they got into pulses, right? Soya bean, tur dal, oil, edible oil, now they are controlling. So they got into everything. So where is the room for a farmer to innovate? See, what is market force? Market force is when an innovator or a hard worker is rewarded, right? With a better price. When that is not there, there is no incentive for the farmer to work. See, what happened in this country? You buy paddy. You are there, I am here. I have studied agriculture and I would like to produce high quality paddy. Paddy is a wrong thing. High quality with a better nutrient value. But government wants to buy in bulk per kg so much, irrespective of the quality. So the entire Indian agriculture system is robbed of quality. Because there is no incentive to produce better quality food.
Right.
So in this case, so my idea of getting into import and export business, one is to avoid this, If I do agriculture, then I have to buy at the government dictated price. And how do I export? Government feels, Indian prices are the lowest, so they put a duty on it, 20%, 30% duty when you export.
Yes.
But actually, Indian commodities are not very competitive.
They are not?
They are not very competitive. Because in other countries, just before this conversation, we were looking at the GDP contribution in India, right? 18% GDP, but 46% population is dependent on agriculture.
For livelihood.
For livelihood. So that's a big pressure. Whereas in all developed economies, 7% of the people support the entire nation. So they get a better price. This labor can be used to better uses. Give them a skill and then let them earn a better earning. This whole thing has been lost in Indian democracy. This current government was about to do that again when they could not pass the farm laws.
But one of the things about the farm laws was MSP. But now we are saying that MSP...
No, it is not MSP.
Yeah.
I think as I understood, MSP is there.
Yes.
But the farmer can sell his produce at a better price in another state if he is getting.
Right.
Like you are from Nashik, you are producing grape there. If you get a better price in Hyderabad, you can send it to Hyderabad.
So what is the condition right now?
Right now, you cannot do it.
Right now, farmer cannot do it.
Farmer cannot do it. It has to go through the marketing yard. And then government has to give a permit.
But then many of the corporates
now here we are talking of cereals, that is paddy, wheat and maize.
So the primary thing you are saying is agriculture is unpredictable. That is dependent on weather and that is dependent on the regulatory
authorities.
Because of which the returns that we get from that business are unpredictable. But then how is it different in agribusiness? So comparing agriculture with agribusiness.
In the way I have designed my business, is I am not dependent on India. So I have opened a company in Dubai. And my clients or my importers are spread over 4 or 5 countries right now. I am a preferred vendor to them. So if I can give them a good quality produce at international price. If it is available in India, I will take from India. Otherwise, I will buy from another country and then sell it to a third country. So you might ask, then what is India getting in it, right?
Yeah.
That is the prime. See, what I feel is in a globalized economy, no country should isolate itself. Because we thought, weather is unpredictable, geopolitics are unpredictable, and the third biggest threat is the climate change. Right. So the next 10 years, nobody is sure. If you are number one in paddy, nobody knows what is going to happen in the next 10 years.
So you're saying that we might have a special crops that are a kind of export, or we specialize in that export of that commodity, but that is because of the weather that we have right now.
Yes.
And probably in the future that weather might not exist and we have to adapt to something else.
Yeah. And number two is we may have to import many of the things that we are able to produce within this country now. For example, edible oil. The government of India has been trying its best, but we are still importing edible oil. Major thing. We are still importing pulses into this country. So these things will continue to happen. So India has its strength in cereals, that is paddy and wheat, but India wants to weaponize it. It is very unpredictable. Like last month, I have done a rice consignment to Jordan. Suddenly, they said India is going to impose a 20% duty on rice. Within 24 hours, that was withdrawn.
Right.
So, if the 20% duty is imposed, then all the clients will look at other countries. So, our regulators also have to be careful.
So you're saying the reason behind establishing one of the branches in Dubai and its benefits to India are in this way, that you as an Indian seller create a relationship with the abroad, the clients of abroad, and that relationship is only possible
if you are in business.
Yeah. So one of the branches that you are opening is to sustain that relationship and not get affected by the regulations of India.
What I'm saying, if India needs suddenly, say today India needs ethanol.
Yeah.
For blending into petrol.
Yes.
Or we fell short of onion last year. We are short of pulses now. So India should encourage traders like us, support them financially, and keep them alive overseas. We are like assets. When India needs, we can bring in because you need to have a banking in place, your suppliers in place, relationship with the suppliers.
Right.
Unless these contacts and relationships are there, when India needs, suddenly they cannot fulfill the needs. So I intend to play a role there.
So this import and export for someone who is a new entry to this market, import and export. So how a new entrant in this domain should enter, and what should be the information that you would like to convey to him before he's entering into this market?
I would say, nobody should enter into commodity trading, that is imports and exports, it should be left to the established players because the values are high and because of the unpredictability. The volumes are very high. You cannot be trading in 100 tons to one. You will be trading in thousands of tons commodities. So a new entrepreneur, if he wants to get into export and import, he should get into value-added things.
So in the supply chain?
Like say if I am trading in maize, he should get into popcorn.
Sure.
So if I am trading in tomatoes or onion, they should get into dried onion powder or sauce. A new entrepreneur should get into value-added mode. And they should leave this commodity trading to big-time traders. I am a beginner now, but I intend to be there within a short time because of our knowledge levels and because of our contacts.
So you're suggesting that a new entrant should essentially not enter into raw export of fruits and vegetables or any commodity, but rather something that becomes a packaged commercial item later on, which is labelized or becomes a product.
Which is definitely some value is added. If somebody is trading in raw cashew nuts, it is better you deal in roasted cashews, either salted or sweetened. Instead of exporting onion, try and get into dried, like I said, onion powder.
Right.
And, same is the case with, say, wheat. Instead of wheat, you can get into noodles. Some value addition.
But why would you suggest that? What is the reason why one should not initially start with raw?
No, because the raw materials, it's capital intensive. You're talking of at least $1 million consignment. Unless you are there, you cannot sustain the business because the margins are very low. This international trade, it is well established fact that the trade margins are between 1 and 2%.
So from the point of procurement of raw materials to the end sale to the client, can you explain the supply chain which goes behind this?
See, when you want to get into import-export business, the most critical thing, I will not say the most, there are two critical things that are needed. One is, of course, the finance aspect. You must have enough money in your bank account. Number two is you must have the suppliers in place. And the biggest difference is the local logistics. India being a big country, if the commodity is being produced hinterland or in the middle of the country, it has to be transported to the port. That is where the exporters are losing out. The Indian government is coming with subsidized domestic transport.
Subsidized domestic transport?
Through the railway freights. But then that is time taking right now. And there are delays in that.
But then from the procurement, how does the supply chain work? Like raw materials are procured from all the suppliers initially. Then where does it go? What is the process after that?
No, what we do is once we procure and once we get an order, a confirmed order with either advance money or letter of credit, we ask for 60 days time or 30 days time, depending on the volume of the order. We gather all the raw material and put it in one place. we depend on a third-party quality control organizations. So they deploy people. If I'm buying in, say, Nagpur, or if I'm buying in Hyderabad, a person goes there, checks the paddy, rice. Right now I'm doing rice. Then he clears it for stocking at one place. Once my 500 tons or 600 tons of rice is in one place, we do another check and then go for packing. Packing is to the customer's need. If he wants in 25 kg, 50 kg, 100 kg, depending on his requirement, we pack it and then send it to the customers.
So this packaging requirements are either from the customer himself or the country as a whole.
Both.
Both.
It is generally the customer, but there is a process called fumigation, wherein you kill all the insects and pests and diseases. The fumigation requirements are from the importing country.
Irradiation.
In case of mangoes, irradiation. This is called fumigation in rice.
Okay.
So we kill the weevils, and so these processes are well defined, and we use a third-party organization to do that. Just for the audience sake, when I'm exporting rice, you have to fumigate it, then you have to dry it to the required moisture, pack it in moisture-proof bags, put it in a container which has been cleaned and lined with paper. Right. Then after you stuff the container, you fumigate it once more. And then send it for customs clearance.
That happens in the container itself?
In the container itself.
But containers are designed that way?
Yeah, containers are designed.
So there are special containers for special commodities as well?
Usually, yes.
There are.
Like for seafood, they are called refrigerated containers.
Cold storage.
So it has a generator. Every container has a small generator also for maintaining the temperature. In our case, it's called dry cargo. Put it in a container, yes, but it is all, based on the container shipments only. Different governments have standardized the procedures. And you know that every commodity has a internationally standardized code
to trace the
to define the material. When it is a rice, you have parboiled rice, you have steamed rice, you have this is the process of milling. Then you have different varieties.
Right.
Glutinous rice, basmati rice. So countries like organizations like WTO, they sit and codify the whole thing.
Right. So it is also that becomes a good information also for the people who are new into it. To know that for this particular code of commodity, what are the standardized requirements?
Is there, yeah. For instance, if somebody says rice, he should say what rice, whether it is basmati, parboiled rice, or each country has a different rice. So all those rice, different rice varieties are coded.
So that much differentiation has been done.
Differentiation has been done. So the exporter and importer must have knowledge of these things.
Okay. But as an exporter, when you are involved into export and import, until what point of the supply chain do you need an involvement of your efforts? Like for example, till the procurement, you need to contact the suppliers. Then for the quality check, third party is taking over. So similarly, at what point of time, after what point it is taken care by someone else, and then our involvement or
ceases.
Yeah.
It is till the time it is cleared by the customs. So there are stations called what is it? Customs notified stations, where you can either load your rice or whatever commodity in that designated stations, or if you have a big factory, the customs people, they send the agents to your factory.
Right.
So it depends on the consignment. And another thing is, many states do not have ports, right?
Yes.
So government of India has built dry ports like here, Nagpur, Hyderabad, Bhopal, Lucknow. These places have what is called ICDs or dry ports. There also customs clearance takes place.
So these ports are with the primary objective of storage of the raw materials
and customs clearance. All the processes that I explained: fumigation, lining up the containers, stuffing, and once the duties, if it is there's a duty is paid at that point.
Duty is paid at that point.
At that point, customs clearance.
Yeah, custom duty.
Custom duty. So these are the processes. The government, I think, has built nearly 30 to 40 dry ports in the country.
So at this dry ports, this process of customs that also take place. But how does one ensure that the quality? So recent news that we were also working as a project is rejection rates that causes to the exporters, and that is primarily because of the internal and external quality of the produce. So they have a different set of quality standards. EU has different, USA has different standards, and if we don't meet the requirements, they reject. And the problem that then it comes is that it has already been exported and it has been rejected at the point of import. Now, what to do with this? So that becomes a loss. The whole consignment has to be destroyed there and there.
See, this is the biggest threat in import-export business. So you have to be. You don't export to EU and US unless, as a company, you mature. And what do you mean by a mature company? Is you should have enough skilled manpower, and you should build those costs into your system. Every consignment that you want to export, you should do a preemptive checking. So usually these commodities are rejected for the presence of antibiotics and pesticide residues, right? These are so you should get it checked. You should not leave a room. You can only do it when the offered price is good. So like right now I am doing to third world countries. You should gain experience.
Right.
In between, you do one consignment to EU or US. See how your team is coping. It is all about strengthening your the skill sets of your people first.
As a business.
But that doesn't happen overnight. It takes 2 to 3 years time.
Right. So that's the problem. Even when I have spoken to exporters, so this is the situation. What happens? So as what you're suggesting is that as a new entrant, don't start with USA and EU.
Right.
But then what happens is these countries have higher margins as well. Yeah,
that is true.
They have higher margins as well. But when the entry barrier exists in these countries, people usually go with UAE, Europe, or the Middle East countries and the other neighboring countries. But then the problem there, what they communicated as, comes that there are many players in this market. And because there are many players, the margins are very low.
Yeah.
And then that's why to establish themselves as an exporter, this low margins are also a conflict, and they cannot, for higher margins, cannot even enter USA and EU. So how would you look at this situation? And
See, in my case, I have started late, which means I have many years of experience. I have been selling to US, but as a job holder or as an employee, I have been selling to Europe. So these markets, I know what they need.
Right.
But can I do it straight away? No. So I would like to do 1,000, 2,000 tons of export in the first year in my business plan, and then do a sample export to Europe. I'm looking at Germany because I have friends there. Like I told you, I have one of my tenant is a German pharma company. I'm working with them. I told them I would like to visit Germany, meet different importers, and then start with a sample export.
Right.
Then build on it. When I enter Europe, I will do it very cautiously. There is no point in regretting after rejection.
But rejections are the whole damage to the reputation. And how does it happen? Like,
rejection is usually the exporter's problem.
Not an importer's problem?
See, importers' rules are, the rules, right?
Yeah.
In India, that's what I am saying, government is the mediator between the farmer and the
exporter.
And the buyer.
Right.
Most of the time, government is buying, and government buys indiscriminately. Even when it is where there is no quality, they buy, and there is no traceability. EU and US markets all are about, they don't mind if there is a defect, but they should be able to trace it. Why trace it? Trace it to see the depth of the problem. Sometimes it can be a minor problem. Right. So I am also a big believer in traceability. Unless I have worked directly with the farmer and I buy it myself, I will not export to Europe. So my business plan is, Government of India is encouraging now FPOs, Food Producers Organization.
That's a community.
Community. So I have 2 FPOs have invited me in Uttar Pradesh as a nominee director, which I am signing next month. They are basmati producers. About 800 farmers, they are looking at a better remuneration for their produce. So I'm working on that. Supply chain, also it should include the farmers. Like what, 5-6 years back, it was not possible to sign with the farmers. But now at least FPOs are there. And there are designated members, so traceability becomes automatic. I know from which farm I am buying, and if I see a residue, I know who is the culprit.
What do the FPOs do?
FPOs is nothing but a group of farmers.
Yeah.
And the government of India, instead of giving subsidy to an individual, they give it to a community.
And this is specially designed for exporting or from all the points.
Even it is needed. Even we are no longer a trillion economy, a third world country, right? We intend to be a Viksit Bharat or a developed nation. What is the biggest problem this country has? Is adulterated food. Everybody knows it, right?
Yes.
Adulterated food and unhygienic environment. These two areas, government has to work. We all have to cooperate. It can happen only when everybody works together. And unless these two things happen, we won't be we will never be a developed and healthy nation.
So you're saying this sector
FPO, I think, is the solution. Government of India is in the right direction. They're moving in the right direction. There should be more FPOs, so that it can be traced. Right now, farms are not numbered. In case of aquaculture, their farms are numbered. They are licensed and numbered.
In case of
aquaculture, that is shrimp culture.
Okay.
We have to go for that slowly. But you can't have a farm number for half acre. You should have community farms. So we are moving in the right direction, but I wish we move much faster.
There are a lot of challenges to it. For example, now you mentioned that we cannot labelize the small farms. It has to be a community, because then naming it becomes easy. But
no, see, an initial thing can be export goods has to be purchased only from an FPO, right? Then automatically things will fall in place.
Right now, they can be bought from the farmer.
Right now, we buy from the mill. You go to a rice mill and then buy the rice. Or I can put up a rice mill, buy from the farmers. But there is no recognition unless a farmer is numbered. The farm is numbered. Even after you number, how do you monitor the quality? You have to monitor the input.
Right.
They should not use banned chemicals.
Right.
They should use the right seed. So the mill actually should give the seed on a buyback mode. Then things will fall in place. See, solutions are there. It is intent has to be there. We have to be strict. That's all.
So you're saying when a farm is being numbered, then what happens is that the traceability from the procurement of the raw materials from that farm starts happening. And once that starts happening, a consumer or a buyer knows that which number of the farm is being good.
And who is at fault.
Yeah, who is at fault. And that will establish a competitive environment in the farming community, which will lead to flourishment of the ecosystem as a whole.
And it will also, you are saying Middle East doesn't pay good price, because they feel we are not spending as much on our farms. Our cost of cultivation is less. We use banned chemicals.
It is because of that?
Because of that impression.
Yeah, I mean that international image is like that.
Image is like that. That is the truth also. Let's not hide the facts also. What control does the government has on any of the farm inputs? Nothing. Government tries to control everything by MSP. Okay. We are moving in the right direction, but the pace has to be quicker. now.
How does it become quicker?
Well, like I said, you buy only from FPO for exporting rice.
So that is again from the government's point of view. That it has to regulate that one has to only buy from FPOs. Doesn't that it has to be a restriction again?
It becomes a restriction, yes. But I'm saying that is one way of working,
Yeah.
Once the government says that even the traders will participate in FPOs, you cannot restrict a FPO to farmers alone. You must have the traders also in it, because you should buy the produce and farmer cannot export, obviously. No cooperative works like that, right?
Right.
So it is better to introduce exporters into the FPOs, which I am trying now in UP. I hope it works. I'm sure it will work.
But you, as a person who understands this ecosystem, understands that FPOs have a good quality, naturally because of the traceability. Then, out of this understanding, how do you operate this from an FPO?
See, even Europe has a similar system. It is not that the wheat that Europe exports is completely traced to a community or a village.
Right.
There, the farm size is much larger, right? 700 acres to 1,000 acres. So it is numbered, and when the government is sure that these farmers are following all the rules, they are only given an export license.
Right. But they also have the requirement of the size of the land that you should have before numbering your farm, or it is being regulated by them itself.
No, there is, I think UK and France, Europe, there is a restriction. Your minimum farm size should be 700 acres.
700 acres.
Acres.
And what is an average farmland size in India?
In India, is 1 acre.
1 acre is the average.
Average, yeah. 1 to
And
1.
here it is mandated to have 700 acres of
farmland.
So as a farmer, I should only start farming if I have 700 acres of land.
Yeah. Or lease 700 acres.
Least 700 acres.
See, they feel that unless you have 700 acres, you cannot sustain your family.
And business, or both ways?
Look, as a farmer, if you have to educate your kids in a nice, like all other citizens, you need to have at least 700 acres. That is how the system came.
All right. But then, while establishing this system as a policy, there must be few challenges. If there weren't challenges, it would have been easy to establish the system. But one of the challenges that we can see is 700 acres of land. They have made it mandatory. But India is having an average size of 1 acre.
1 to 4 acres, yeah.
1 to 4 acres.
So but a FPO can have so much land, 1,000 acres.
Right. But then, as I communicated with the farmer, he said that farmers are not ready to get together as a community. So this is one of the challenges that. Do you think that this is the challenge, and what are more challenges that is being faced?
No, I think because of the farm losses and farm suicides, farmers are moving away from farming. So this consolidation is already taking place.
Right.
Earlier they were not willing to lease, but now why they are not willing to lease is they thought that people will steal their land. But currently there are GPS systems available, even without a physical boundary. Government of India help, you can make an electronic boundary of your farm.
a larger
Ah,
as a community, you're
as a
saying.
community, yeah.
What is this process? You're saying electrified one?
Electronic. It means using GPS, put a mark on a Google Earth using coordinates.
So and today FPOs are doing it already?
Not FPOs, but many farmers in the south. Now there are large farming companies. So, see, there are absentee landlords like you and me. If we have land, but we are not cultivating, they can give it to these companies. They will farm. So those things are happening now.
Got. So you have been in these countries in Southeast Asia,
Yeah.
and what all countries you mentioned?
I have worked in Vietnam, Malaysia, and Kenya. And I have done business with Philippines.
Right. Any European nations?
No.
So, but what would you, from the point of view of developed nations, what is the difference, essential difference between the policies that they have?
Yeah. See, I have been to Argentina and France on Bayer, it's a multinational sponsorship, to visit different large farms in France and Argentina. So all the inputs that I gave, minimum size 700, it is told by them,
Okay.
by those farmers. And both are exporting nations,
Right.
Argentina and France,
Right. They're one of the largest.
exporters of wheat. So I can see that it worked for them.
So this establishment of FPOs is from a similar point of view.
I think so. It's a modified version.
Can you name some FPOs?
All the sugar factories in your state of Maharashtra are now FPOs.
Yeah.
Many sugar farms, they have what you call their in-house farmers. They converted them into FPOs now. And it is there are at least 3 lakh FPOs in this country, and many are successful.
3 lakh FPOs. But then this FPO establishment, who does that? Is that also a cooperative? Is it a cooperative?
It is like a cooperative governed by company law.
Governed by company law.
Company law.
In the sense?
You have to have a CEO.
Okay.
And then publish a balance sheet.
So you have to work as an organized way, as an organization, but with the collaboration of the community.
Farmers, yeah. So it is a hybrid system. It is a cooperative but governed by company law.
Understood. But then the problem arises that this will happen only with the commercial crops.
No, it has been happening with cereals. But yes, so far I think the success stories are in commercial crops.
Yeah. But that will be a challenge, right?
At least a beginning has been made. We will find out ways.
Right.
Before starting my import-export business, I wanted to start an FPO. We have acquired land also. But then I changed my mind. It is restricting myself to, again, farming. So the definition of FPO, not the definition, the aim of an FPO is to focus on a particular crop. All the members of the FPO will do the same crop. And the government can focus on the FPO to give them a a so-called
MSP.
precise subsidy.
Okay.
A 2-acre farmer, even if he avails 50,000 subsidy and get a tractor, he can't use it because it is just 2 days job. When there are 800 farmers, the government can give a tractor free to all of them. It has work. Typically, how we calculate is for every 200 acres in India, you need a tractor. There will be enough work for a tractor for about 6 to 7 months in a year. So in this case, when there is 800 to 1000 acres FPO, they can give 3-4 tractors. They can be utilized fully.
Right.
So,
but then you mentioned that it again involves farming side of it.
And number 2 is I'll be restricting myself to a single crop, which I don't want to do. I feel that with my experience, I would like to play a bigger role and handle many more crops because we are into trading. So, I was looking if I can be associated with multiple FPOs, basically extend them a marketing help. This idea was there 3 years back. Now I am able to practice it. In the last 1 month, I have visited 3 FPOs. One FPO for turmeric in Nizamabad, one FPO for basmati rice in Prayagraj, and one FPO for dal in Gulbarga. So for me also it's a trial and error, how to fit into the existing system, because at this age we can't really innovate. You can't go wrong now. And the number 2 is how to help the farmers. That has been the main motto. In this case, I offered my services to both the FPOs, and I gave it to a company secretary for legal vetting. Can I take membership in multiple FPOs so that I can help them in marketing their produce? So the basmati FPO has offered. I'm again going to Lucknow next month. They have sent the forms. And turmeric also I will sign up. And this is not consultancy, right? When I enter, I want to put money and buy their produce and then export. Right. So that is the idea which I am.
So right now, most of the raw materials that you source are from FPOs itself, right?
See, basically, like I think we initially discussed, that we are into import and export, and the main criteria is we should not depend on a single crop,
right? And
we should not depend on a single nation, right? So that is the reason we have opened an office in Dubai. I also want to do third country to third country, where India has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, like from China it can go to US.
US, and actually many people are asking why, what is. But I feel that is the way forward. India can't produce everything.
Right.
But though Indians try to produce everything, even every state wants to do everything. If you have seen recently, Andhra is producing apples, Andhra is producing dates. But the issue is, can you do it at a globally competitive scale? I feel that we should not forget that we should be globally competitive. So my office and expertise, if it becomes successful, will try to use the other country's expertise, get it at a most competitive price.
Got it. But then, right now the process happens is like this: that farmers, producers are being sourced by the FPOs. Then those FPO collects those producers, and then it is sourced by you.
Yes.
And then you export it.
No, instead of that, what I am telling them is, I am taking a membership in these FPOs. I am also a shareholder.
Yeah.
And I told them, let me do my exports. Right? If their produce is suitable for export purpose, I will source their produce. I will try to. I'll give first preference to them. Let's not forget that quality is important. And we discussed Indian farmers have forgotten what is quality, because quality is not incentivized in this country. As a nation, we must move towards that, a better quality, which can lead to better price.
Higher margins.
We were discussing about rice. Even when government of India has put 20% duty, Indians were able to export the rice. Indian government has collected $11 billion duty, which could have gone to the exporters, which they would have paid better price to the farmers, right?
Right.
So that is what I am looking at. The intention is there, idea is there, but how to crystallize it? So this FPO in Prayagraj, I offered them, let us wait for one full year. I will try to buy your basmati and export. End of the year, we'll see the balance sheet. Because when I am exporting, I have to be competitive. I can't offer a better price to them. But I told them I am willing to share 50% of the profit with the members at the end of the year.
Right.
So this is just a beginning. I am going to meet the farmers next month again. From there, I will get into seed inputs, quality. We'll make a club, and they ask me, you give the seed. And I will try to source the best seed with the best flavor, give it to them. And I'm sure most Indian farmers are very good. It is definitely not lack of knowledge or effort. It's the system which is not supporting them.
But then what is as you were mentioning, what is the root cause of establishing this import and export as an organization?
For me.
Yeah.
See, like I said, in the next 3 years, we are going to see a shortage of ethanol. Because the government of India has made it mandatory, but India doesn't have enough ethanol. Right now they are importing.
Sugarcane also does it, right?
Ethanol from sugarcane, ethanol from maize, ethanol from rice.
Yes.
So I would like to play a role there. Staying in Dubai, procuring ethanol into the country. So once I attain a decent size for the company, then I would like to do mostly government contracts.
Understood. So not only from the point of view of exports, but you're also looking forward from the point of view of imports. Because what we were discussing till now is from the export point of view. But there's another discussion to it, that is the import point of view.
Import also. Import also is whatever India needs. Government of India is also trying to recognize parties who can do that job. As we gain experience and financial strength, I would like to play a role there and I want to restrict myself to 4 or 5 commodities. I am thinking that they are sugar, rice, pulses, and ethanol.
Restrict yourself to this.
In
terms of import?
No, either import or export.
And even if you're looking forward to third party to third party.
See, the third party to third party I am doing to gain knowledge, one thing, and to serve my clients, my existing clients, whatever they need. But once I get a size, which is $20 to $30 million per year, then I will actually restrict myself to these 3 or 4 only.
But then, as we were talking about it, you mentioned that even the farmers have the expertise, but the thing is in the structure. One of the problem is in that. So what is the structure currently and how it should be?
See, the current structure is, now that the farmers have organized themselves into an FPO, a beginning has been made. Now those FPOs must have exclusive access to a milling company now, rice mills.
Right. In terms of rice?
Yeah, I'm talking of now rice. Because the next 2 years we are going to play with rice and sugar only, right? The third party, I don't expect to develop a big strength in 1 or 2 years. Third country to essentially get the financial muscle for the company. Once we have that size, obviously the main focus will be on India at that time. The farmers now, that I am associating myself with FPOs, most commodities need little bit of processing. If they produce paddy, but we need rice to export. So the missing link is now rice mill.
So it is a missing link.
At the moment, maybe rice mills have FPO. They are moving into that direction. We are also moving. The FPO in UP wants me to set up a rice mill. I am open to it, but I can't restrict myself. Then I will have to stay there and run a rice mill. Right. So I told them I would like to outsource that. I will set up a rice mill. I'll hand you over again. You just pay me the lease. I will give the manpower. You operate the mill.
So managing it. Yes.
You manage it, and when I will buy the produce.
Yeah.
Because to manage a mill, I have to stay there, which I can't do. So this is a work in progress. We have to see, but I'm sure something will come out of it. See, in life, always many things are going on. What is the best thing? What is the best job to do? The best job is what you love to do, right?
Yeah.
But is there enough money in it? That is the question. So I like to be a farmer, but can I feed my wife and my family? And can I give them the standard of living that they are expecting? When I was sure that I cannot do it, so I went for agri-business, employment. Similarly here, I just want to do imports and exports and make some money. That was the intention. But fortunately, Yeah. Financially, we are quite secure. We should not lose money now. That is the prime motto. And number two is both these goals are there: how to help the farmer and how to help the government while doing import and export of commodities. And I'm not a kind of a generic import export business. Import export of commodities.
Specific.
If there is a food shortage, we should be able to play a role. If there is ethanol shortage, we should be able to play a role. And all these shortages, I'm foreseeing these shortages because of the size of our economy.
So you intend to be a big player.
A relevant player, if not a key player there. So my model of business will be to continuously work with the farmers and the government. And money is important. Like I said, we should not lose money.
True. But then from an agri-business point of view, we are separating agriculture right now. So from an agri-business, from the point it starts, what is the good and bad things about agri-business today?
Not the bad things, the what you call the continuously changing policies. What is happening is I have come back from Africa in 2017. I left in 2012. So when I came back, my state was divided into two, Andhra, Telangana. When I went, I was paying VAT.
Yeah.
When I came back, GST. So India has changed dramatically. Whether the businessmen, whether they have changed or not, I really don't know. But there is too much pressure on the businessmen because of this continuous change in the policies. Today, I can't run a company without a CS help. Because every month you have to file your TDS returns, you have to file your GST returns, right?
Right.
And you need banking help. So doing business has become expensive now. And also it has become knowledge intensive.
So entry is difficult.
Entry has, government keeps on talking about ease of doing business. Any layman will tell you that it has become more difficult. Is it difficult? It is not difficult. We have been used to a very lax system earlier. This compliance is needed, but because it was not there and you are imposing it suddenly, people are feeling the pressure.
Right, but they are necessary.
They are necessary. Another thing, there is a cost to compliance. So government should allow these businessmen to make little more profit. The way Indian authorities work, they come, they open all your books, and then they tell you, you should be making this much money, but you are making so much, so you pay tax, right? So government should not treat profit making as a sin. When they make profit, when they give 30% to government of India, we are all actually helping.
Yeah. But then it is from a point of view of the country's whole income. There has to be ways of...
No, what is happening is they conduct a raid and they never close the case. You close it within 6 months. People are fighting for years and years. People are actually shutting down businesses. They are scared now. Because a typical government way of calculating, if they find an error of 5%, they will say you have been in this business for last 20 years. So all these 20 years you have been cheating to the tune of 5%. 20 into 5, you pay 100% now.
That is happening.
That is happening. That's what they came. It's called claim. They raise a claim. You dispute it. And then you fight.
But it is also from a point of view that the establishment of discipline in the business environment. From the point of view of that as well, there is a need, right? That entrepreneurs should be disciplined. And
no,
there should not be.
Again, I know it's a classic case what you said. Entrepreneurs are a different breed. You have to protect them, not punish them. You keep on punishing the entrepreneur. See, entrepreneurs are the people who are multiplying the money, who are employing people. When you kill them, how the country can grow? Right? So you treat them. I am not saying you should treat them with respect. At least you treat them equally. See, one big problem in this country is nobody goes into business as a first choice. They try for a government job, they don't get. They try for a private job, they don't get, or they lose their job midway. So most people enter the livelihood because they have no other choice. So you should remember that the cream of the youth are not entering business. So they are bound to be doing mistakes. Either lack of capital or lack of
experience.
Money also. When you start getting the top 10 people in the institute, when they enter the business, the complaints will be better. India should remember that. Give them a little leverage, tighten the screws initially. Don't continuously disturb the bigger companies.
But then how it should be? The ease of doing business in USA, for that matter, is known. But what should be the changes in India from the point of view of Indian community? What should be the favorable changes that government can do?
They have made a good beginning. That is, you declare up to 1 crore. You don't need a CA. You file the returns. That's a good beginning. But you should start trusting them also.
So ease of doing the business they spoke about. Which point of the documentation have they eased the process?
I see mostly they have eased the. You apply for a GST, you get in 2 days.
Okay.
You apply for a company license, you get in 2 days. Those things, it's become in 3 days you can start a company.
Previously, was it? How was it?
Maybe it used to take months.
No.
But now the issue is every month filing the returns. You need a professional help. And then salaries have skyrocketed. Say if I am working, my salary is 25 lakhs. To make 25 lakhs profit at the rate of 5% profit, how many crores business I have to do just to sustain myself? So there is ease of business, but there are no profits at the moment. People are struggling, especially the services.
Service sector.
Service sector. It is not paying. You pay 30,000 rupees to your CA for filing your returns. It's not enough for one child's fees, right? So goods and services, the value should go up. so that the profit, even if it remains at 5%, value of the goods and services should go up. Government of India, like, I think we are now nearing the podcast. At the beginning, by artificially keeping down the prices, you are not achieving anything. Right? You should let the value go up. Rice costing 20 rupees, 5% margin. Rice costing 100 rupees, 5% margin. Margin is same.
Wouldn't it lead to inflation then?
It will lead to food inflation.
Yeah.
But like I said, the Indian consumer, I started my career at 3,000 rupees. I was buying a cylinder, subsidized cylinder. People drawing 20 lakh salary also want to buy a subsidized cylinder. Right? They also want to, what is that? Because government is taking back 35% of the salary as income tax.
They want to save as much as possible.
No, and you are paying 28% GST.
Right.
So government is taking back 50% of our incomes. They must think about it first. Reduce it to a reasonable level. And let the value of the goods go up. And let people make, instead of 5%, 6% margin.
Then if the value of goods go up, value of money goes down?
Not necessarily.
Because even if from the point of view of import and export, if you don't have
No, I will tell you what is value proposition. You are paying 30 lakhs for a car, or 20 or 10 lakhs, out of which 40% is taxes, right? 28% GST, 11% road tax, 3% insurance. On the food, there is hardly 5%.
Yes.
I think if you buy in bulk, there is no tax. So for government is not getting a rupee from food. In fact, the first thing they can start with, completely stopping the PDS, public distribution. No? Just give it to people who are below poverty. Right now they are wasting money. They are procuring at 30 rupees and giving
for free.
Almost free, giving it 1 rupee, 2 rupees. No, they should reevaluate. For COVID, they have started distributing free food throughout the country.
Still going on.
It's still going on. Well, in this country, they can never review a free item. He starts, the government will fall.
That's true. I mean, the free things are one of the major things of elections.
So where government, instead of putting the money into R&D, is putting into these free things, which will not help us to become Viksit Bharat by 2047. You must change. See, if you continue to do the way that you have been doing it for the past 50 years, you will continue to get the same results. To become a Viksit Bharat, you have to change. People are willing to change, government is not willing to change.
Because there are still the drivers of elections are still the same.
Yes.
And though changes are supposed to happen, but in terms of what drives people to vote for someone,
yes,
still the same elements.
Well, if you look at Delhi, thank God government has changed. Otherwise, I thought by giving free power, you can win the election continuously. And number two is everybody should vote. Everybody should vote. Government should listen to the stakeholders, to the business people, to the business organizations.
But when you see it from a broader point of view, see there are a lot of changes that needs to happen, not just in terms of structure, not just in terms of regulations, but also in terms of the demand of the people. People today are demanding those things. That's why government has to do those things. Like today,
Restricting myself to agriculture. If you see paddy, production of paddy has gone up multiple folds because it's a very easy crop to grow. If you are a farmer, you know it comes in 120 days. You give 2 sprays and 3 fertilizer doses. It's nothing but grass, right? It grows and gives you paddy. But does this country need so much paddy? It doesn't require. So whenever I am traveling Madhya Pradesh, now Maharashtra, uplands, dry lands, they are growing paddy. And government is buying at 23, they don't have money to buy. Indians don't need so much paddy. We are exporting. Government is putting 20% duty. But you have wasted a whole lot of resources there. You should put it to better use, the land for more nutritive crops, high yielding crops, especially uplands. So it is not just the government, I am saying. People also should realize you own land without farming it. You are leasing it. A leaseholder does the easiest thing, that is to just exploit water and produce paddy.
So from the point of view of business, we spoke about the ease of business. Does it exist or does it not? We look at it as a business point of view, but adding an element of agriculture to it. Now what are the difficulties? What has to change in the structure?
I think first thing is the farm reforms, which I think we have discussed about it. Farm reforms, just because one Punjab state is protesting, they have stopped it. How fair is it? It is unfair to all other states. Right? The day the farm reforms come, people will believe that the change is coming. They'll be prepared for a change.
What is in the farm laws that will change things?
The farmer can sell the produce anywhere. If you see right now, even a simple thing like coconut, right? Farmer gets 12 rupees, selling it 70 rupees. That difference must come down. The producer must get a chunk of the pricing. How to do it? Unless you start, they have to start somewhere. Farm reforms, implement and see what happens, right?
State-wise, specific.
Statewide, by the fear of the unknown, they say, kya ho jayega, and then you just stop. That's not the way you have to make a beginning. And I'm sure it can't get worse than this, right? Agriculture is in the worst state.
And one of the farmer where I spoke to, we went from a point of view of helping them as a project. So we were working on the product and then we wanted to know their problems. But as soon as I started speaking, he was so frustrated that he was talking about people have came, they have given me a lot of commitments. People came, corporate people came, the IT people came, trying to sell their products, try to sell their artificial intelligence things, the products and all. Government came to provide insurance and things like that. But nothing has helped me. So even you don't try. If you want to do it, just help me in my farm, he said.
Mhm.
So that is also, so how do you look at it? I mean, they are now feeling helpless.
They are, see, what is a typical farmer?
Yeah.
People say uneducated. I would say not uneducated. He has no time. He has to go to the farm. So his knowledge is restricted. And our economy has put the onus of marketing on the farmer who is just working in his own farm. The size is small, he's not getting labor. And people want him to market properly. That should go. Whatever is, you were saying MSP, MSP to some extent is reasonable, but if the country doesn't need paddy and if he produces and asks you to buy at MSP, how is it going to help? So as policymakers, we must give them a clear mandate. You grow this, then we can pay this price. Right now, he grows what he wants and expects you to pay the price. What is the solution for Punjab? You tell me. You just ban paddy. See what happens. Right now, they produce two crops: winter wheat and paddy in summer.
Rabi and Kharif.
They expect you to buy everything, and there is no question of quality. Whatever they produce, you have to buy. So this a good beginning can be removal of centralized food corporation of India. Let big companies come up and compete among themselves. Right now, only the food corporation buys, and they buy at MSP. You open it up, I'm sure nothing bad will happen.
Food corporations are government.
FCI, the sole agency to buy the rice.
FCI. Sole agency to buy rice only.
Agriculture produce.
So they buy it at the MSP rate.
At the MSP rate.
Farmers, and then they sell it to consumers.
Then they give it to millers.
Yeah.
Millers can mill it and give it back to them for PDS, public distribution, or they can sell it. That is the basic system right now.
So, from the point of view that I spoke, what farmers are feeling today, they are helpless, hopeless, and they have been given a lot of solutions already. They have been hearing from a lot of point of, and you bring a point of view today from an import and export perspective to help farmers.
I am saying, that question should not arise after he produces. If there are no buyers, like what is happening now, that is pathetic. Instead of that, you tell them don't grow.
Sorry?
No, paddy we will not buy. Make it very clear. No.
So they change their
crop, and then our warehouses will be empty. Right? You tell them that you grow tur. Instead of 100, we will pay you 150. You pay it. Stop importing. Palm oil, right now, one good program is going on. Because India imports, I think, $2 billion worth of edible oil every month from Indonesia and Malaysia.
There's also one point of view that was suggested that in order to keep the prices lower of Indian producers, whatever farmer producers, things are imported from other nations so that the quantity becomes so huge in India that it's demand and supply doesn't.
I think that's not the truth. In India is in most cases we are self-sufficient. Why would the government do? When there is a shortage, they bring in material to to balance the prices. But government does it to help the consumer. But the farmer feels that he is being cheated of his price.
Yeah, but he actually suffers.
He does. See, how does the price go up when there is a shortage?
True.
You are from Nashik. When does onion touch 100 rupees? When the crop fails. Right? Few farmers whose crop is good, they get 100 rupees. And then the whole country cries, 100 rupees pe onion kharidna. As if it's a big sin. I've been buying onions at 5 rupees since my childhood. 5 to 7 rupees only. I think last 30 years, sometimes it touches 10 rupees. When it touches 20, even my wife, mother, daughter, whatever my age group, they tell, when you go out, you get onion. So first thing is we should get used to paying more.
But then, from an import and export point of view, how would you play a role that would lead to help to the farmers?
To the farmers, like I said, by taking part in the FPOs, exporting their produce. And if I realize a better price, I offer them 50% of the profit. So I feel it's a good beginning.
So the main thing that you want to play upon is quality. Is it so?
Yeah. See, just now quality levels have come up now, especially in the crops that we are dealing, in the produce that we are dealing, basmati, parboiled rice. But yes, if when the basmati is extra long, you should be prepared to pay more, the miller, because we do get better price.
So, but in terms of the commodities that are being exported today, one of the problems is that we produce a lot of one crop and try to export it and try to capitalize on that one crop. As we discussed that, we try to weaponize one product that we specialize in.
See, they should be doing that, but that plan is not there. It's just that the paddy area under paddy has been growing continuously because they are removing the forest land and converting into farmlands. And they are growing paddy when we don't need so much paddy. See, paddy is a special case. Most sufferers are paddy farmers, but there are no losses in paddy. There is less profit. Whereas in crops like chili, commercial crops, there are huge losses now this year. Farm suicides, if you notice, happen when they grow commercial crops, not cereals.
Is it?
Cereals, they get their money back.
But then this is one of the easy solutions that people look for. I mean, if I don't want to be one of the farmers who face losses, I would go on to start with a commercial crop. So that's not the right way.
No, see, the focus on commercial crops is correct because the chances of making more money is there. So the government of India should make enough efforts, that it should not, the price shouldn't fall by 50%, 60%, as is happening now in crops like chili and cotton. It can fall by 10%, farmer can take. When it falls by 50%, nobody can take that hit.
But if you're suggesting rather than commercial crops, if we go for cereals, it is a better thing.
Cereal, but we don't, see what, like I said, what is happening is government using our AI or our knowledge, we should be able to tell the farmers what to plant. That should be the target. Let him not grow anything that he wants to grow. He should grow what he has been told to grow. Then everything will settle down.
But then profit comes into picture. Like if a government is telling me to buy cotton.
No, he won't tell you. He will tell an entire district.
Yeah. Even from the point of
if you grow cotton, we'll buy at this rate. Other crops we don't buy.
But if you tell a district that this is the only crop that will be growing, I see the other district that is making more profit from that other crop that is suggested by the government itself. Then this parity won't be a challenge.
But you are trying to grow a crop which is suitable for that climate. You won't be suggesting an easy crop or which is not suited. No?
From environment, weather.
From weather, temperature, rainfall. Based on that, you give a suggestion. I'm sure they will understand.
Then also, if I'm from Nashik, majority of the people grow grapes, onions. If a government tomorrow comes and tells them to buy other crop, how do they change their farming practices so easily?
No. You see, I don't think are there suicides in Nashik? It is not heard. It is there in Vidarbha, right?
Yes.
Nashik is an irrigated area.
Yes.
So the farm suicides and all these things happen in rain-fed areas. So government should be able to tell there in the rain-fed area. It's not one solution for all. It is target. When you cannot buy enough of cotton, in the similar environment, pulses can be grown. So you tell them to grow pulses, give slightly more price, no problem.
The major problem is this, that farmers are growing the crops which are not supposed to be grown on that land.
They are growing expecting profit.
Or the crop that shouldn't be supposed to be grown.
So not little bit. I think they have cracked it now with the FPOs. If FPOs are successful, and if all the exporters are forced to buy from the FPOs, some discipline will come.
At what all levels the discipline will come?
Because farmer knows that he has to grow this crop of this quality for the exporter to buy. See, the farmer becomes frustrated when government doesn't buy. Because we are all used to looking at government like Maba. Because he is giving urea at subsidy, he is not charging anything for power. And we expect him to buy our produce, whatever we produce. The day the dependency reduces on government, then he doesn't expect them to buy. Right now, it is like the Indian children. They're only looking at their father and mother to pay the fees. right?
Right.
Whereas father and mother should be the last option. Government of India now, companies all put together, there must be at least 50% of the children should be able to study on scholarships, not necessarily from the government, community, your caste structures are there, temples are there. Instead of giving free money, give part of the money as school fees. And the day it happens, family life also will improve. See, when the children feel that they have to earn their fees, they will earn by any means, selling their bodies, as we are seeing the young girls going to pubs, working. Instead of that, there should be more sources of money other than parents. Just like government, there's state scholarship. Every district should have a scholarship. Why not? Part of the tax that is collected actually should be given as scholarship to students in every district at local level itself. That way, this suffering of the parents will come down. So similar is the solution for agriculture. Now when they look at government for everything, including buying, when they see more people, see in commercial crop, do they look at government to buy? Never. The minute you give a choice, they shift to alternative thing. Then this blame game will come down. It is the corporates which are responsible. As it is, farming incomes will improve because in many countries farmers have stopped farming.
It is automated.
No, because it is not viable, especially in South Asia. See, in India, if a farmer drops, if he stops farming, how much loss will be there to the country? Nothing, because his holding is only 2 acres, right?
But then everyone stops then?
No, it takes time for everybody to stop.
Yeah.
Whereas in Europe, when one guy stops, it's 700 acres.
Yeah.
In US, it is 2,000 acres.
So one guy has a lot of it.
There is a big impact. The whole of Argentina has only 1,600 farmers, each guy doing 10,000 acres.
And these guys are like
feeding the entire nation, 1,600 people.
But there's less freedom then.
Less
Freedom.
For
suppose I want to start farming. There are already farmers with so much land.
No, they are there with so much land. They don't let you come in.
So there is monopoly there.
Oh, monopoly. Farmers got the country by their neck there. France also same thing. You are seeing in US when farmers protest, how do they protest? They take all their tractors and park it on the road. So, because only 7% of the population is feeding 100% people.
And still the production is more.
Indians 35% people. So that equation has to change at a macro level. Number of farmers should come down, which means farm size should increase. Right? But in India, land is everything. Ek acre hai to I am king, like the feeling. No?
So you have seen the farmer side of it. You have seen the regulation side of it. You're seeing the international point of view as well, the regulations and the export business. From that point of view, if you were to suggest one thing to a farmer, what would it be? Just one.
Well, my advice would be to be independent, not to look at government for anything. The day you think that nobody is going to help you, your thought process will change. As long as you feel only government should buy, even at MSP, things won't improve. In fact, it should be role reversal. Farmers should say, I will not sell you. I won't give it to government. Right? The day they say, the whole PDS system stops. So I think that mindset of the farmer should change, that I am dependent on the government. You understand your value. Government depends on the farmer in the real case.
So from a farmer's point of view, this is a thing.
From the farmer. Number two is, have you heard of a farmers union? Very few are there. They are not effective. They should be strengthened.
So more farmers should come together as a community.
As a community, and demand, negotiate, bargain with the government. Right now, people like Tikait, Sharad Joshi, they have outsourced it to a so-called leader. It should be led by them. So the government also should encourage more farm organizations, to be active. I think that is the solution. The government should take a back step. They should not feel shy, or they should not hesitate to take a step back. And the farmer should take a step forward. Look, the government will never buy my produce. Once they decide that, things will change.
From a farmer's point of view, is to be independent and change in that mindset. From the regulation point of view, if you want to suggest one thing with the experience that you have of different
disciplines, they should be able to tell the farmer which crop to grow.
So data,
based on data, you grow this.
So research and data becomes important.
And especially at village level, the whatever panchayat system is in place, they should focus on agriculture. Tell them we have to grow only this crop. And tell them that if we grow any other crop, it will not be bought. That should be made very crystal clear. All the southern states have excess paddy. They have no space to store also. No funds to buy. But still they are buying on credit. They give a credit note to the farmer, which is when it will be paid after 4 months, 5 months.
And again, we saw from a farmer's point of view, from the regulatory point of view, and from international trade point of view, what would you suggest? One thing.
No, I think international trade point of view, we are on the right track, because the number of farmers are, farmers abandoning it as a profession. It has not yet started. So we still have scope, by changing the policy. If we retain the farmers in farming business, India has great future, because in all other nations it is coming down, except India. They should take advantage of it now.
How?
No, that is, targeted, precise planning, buying options, not the government buying. They should let people like us, exporters, buy directly from the FPOs. I think, as I have been repeatedly, I think we have cracked it now. FPO is the right direction. FPO should be empowered. They should not only sell their produce, they should sell their votes also. 800 is a big number. Once all the farmers, including the farm members, families, become part of the FPOs, they will have a big role to play. Because the politician only listens to one thing: water. They should encash it now.
So, coming to the closure of the broadcast, what are the few commodities which India can capitalize on and has a potential? Name any 5.
We are already doing that. Like paddy, we are number 1 exporter. Sugar, we are in the top 3. Wheat and maize, so we are self-sufficient. And another commodity could be
spices.
Spices, 90% is from India only. But our own consumption is so much that the exports are coming down because of increased income. Our consumption of dry fruits and spices is going up. So export should never be just for export purpose. I think this is another thing. Exporting should be with a goal, that is to protect our farmer, get better price for our farmer. Like you said, they should not import just to equalize the price. They should play in such a way that the farmer continues to get a better price. Our export value of our exports is also very less. That is because we are not confident. We don't know whether we will be able to honor a contract. Government may put duty, government may ban it. That fear should not be there on the exporter. Then, if that fear is not there, he will strive for the best price, which will automatically trickle down to the farmer. If not this year, next year. I think the essence is the same, what Modi said when he came. What did he say? Government should govern less, I think. That was his less governance.
For the corporates.
No, less governance.
Yeah. And more it was more corporate.
I don't know what was the option, but government intervention should come down visibly and let the market forces take charge.
Understood. So, a last question and then I'll wrap it up. looking at all of this, the information that we have got, and where you stand right now as a business, what is the one thing you would want to communicate to everyone? The last message, what would be?
I think in any business, the big mantra is play safe, And number two is the businessman should strive to get a better price. Don't do panic selling because it affects the farmer. We tend to do that panic selling. Yeah. Panic selling is there because government may change the policy. Next month they will stop. So government should know that the panic selling or undervaluing our own produce is because of these fears. They should let the businessman know that there will be a consistent policy. No surgical strikes on our own business community. That is the humble advice to the government. Because with government you have to be humble. Yours sincerely.
I have to put that on the as you put it on the letter.
On the letter, yours sincerely. And I should also thank you. You made me think during the podcast. But I think as the time goes, we'll be able to come with a better solution. After all, this is a startup, though I am using all my experience of last 30 years. In about a year's time, I should be able to give more advices. And I also intend to work with the government, like I said. I've already approached them. Attend more seminars, make sure that our voices are heard. Not through podcasts or blogs, but on the right forum. So that will be the target for my business. Organize the businessman and make sure that it is heard.
Right. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah.
And wish you all the best for your business as well, and hope it benefits you and the farmers and the whole ecosystem of agriculture as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching the podcast. If you have stayed till the end, let us know in the comment section what all points we can improve upon and what all topics we can more discuss. Thank you.